Oh, I think I messed up. So when you first come in, you're gonna see me not like normal. You're gonna see me, and then you're gonna see me drop out and start the thing because I forgot I was in um already on screen. So good morning, everybody. It is morning coffee time. I am starting early, like 15 minutes early, like usual, because that's just how I roll. So we are discussing inner circle. Inner circle people first. So let's get started. And then after that, we're going to have a little discussion about some things that have been going on and see your thoughts and what you think. You know, what do you think? So here's the verse. Um, it's out of First Thessalonians 4:9. And it says, concerning love for the brothers, we do not need to write you, for yourselves have been taught by God to love each other. So we should just automatically know to love one another. It's find it interesting that we haven't got that concept. But we will get it together, right? So it says, it has always been hard to buy a shirt for my dad. Not because he's a person like me. I don't know if that's the right word you guys. About, I would say just picky about styles or fabrics or colors, but because he always been picky, see now she says picky, about the size of the front pocket. The front pocket in Dad's pre-iPhone days needed to be wide enough to hold his pen, his mechanical pencil, and his little spiral notebook. The notebook contained his kids' ever-changing phone numbers, our current class schedule, and later our work schedules. He never kept that stuff close in order to check upon us. My dad, to this day, just makes sure he knows how to be engaged with and how to talk intelligently about what's important to the people who are important to him. He loves well with his time and his actions. Right there, his notebook, he had what amounted to a written list of inner circle people, the folks to whom he was the one and only dad, husband, sibling, or son. Inner circle people are those for whom you and only you can fill your role. Your boss can find another employee, but your parents can't find another daughter. Your son can't find another mom. So often we unintentionally let outer circle people get first dibs on our attention, leaving nothing but leftovers for the inner circle, spouse, parents, kids, and friends. That's why the first step in creating relational breathing room is to flip that around, figuring out who belongs permanently at the top of your priority list, or in my dad's case, in the trusty notebook close to his heart. That's pretty good. So, who in your inner circle are you neglecting? Is the question, right? Like, who do you not pay attention to pay attention to people that will replace you? You know what? I think, in all honesty, this is my journaling, my thoughts. I honestly believe that we really honestly take for granted the people that we know will always are supposed to always be there. And that's why we give so much energy to individuals who can replace us because in our minds we don't want to be replaced. But why not love on the individuals that we know we are that valuable to that we can't be replaced? And not saying that we can't love on people that will easily dismiss us, but our inner circle should get first dibs on the best of us. You know what I'm saying? It's just automatic. And once that happens, everything else trickles. So let's get to these questions, you guys. In between this, I am going to oil my scalp like I do after I get off of here, just to kind of demonstrate some of my routine. It's super simple, super easy, and I figured we could just chat a little bit about stuff that people like to call subjects that are not supposed to be talked about, right? Like religion and or politics, things that they say are somewhat divisive, even though it is the very fabric of America, right? So why can't we necessarily talk about it? Unless if we started talking about it, discussing it, we would see that maybe we are being used or misled, right? So who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Anyways, back to this. So you put my little thing on says relationships. Inner circle. Which roles are unique to you? I'm going to tell you which roles are unique to me. I'm going to give you the examples that they have in this book. So the examples in this book say wife, sister, mother, daughter, aunt. I'm going to say father, of course, brother, uncle. Those are things that are unique to you. What are the roles? What roles do you play? I play mother to my son, daughter to my mother, sister to my sister, of course, and aunt to my nieces and nephews. So those roles are unique to me. I cannot be replaced by anybody else because I am that crazy auntie, I am that crazy sister, and I am that turn up daughter who is ready to defend to the end. So, and people make fun of me, even my family, but they know that I'm. You're not gonna talk to them any kind of way. You're not gonna do this to them any kind of way. And that is just who I am. In all honesty, you guys, like I wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to be an attorney. It was my goal to be a lawyer. One reason is because I love to debate and I love to argue truth and facts. The second was because my dad, wasn't always on the straight and narrow, and I wanted to make sure that I could keep my dad out of jail. Just the honest truth. Um, so those two things were why I was intrigued and loved the criminal justice system. When I was in high school, I changed that to be a crime scene investigator because I love to investigate things, find a solution to the problem, and execute that solution. That is what I've done my entire life, and I love that. That's what I like to do. So I got in the medical field honestly because I got pregnant, and my mom said, "Well, you can always have a job in the medical field. That's a for sure job somewhere." But that was not my passion, and that was really not what I had originally wanted to be. I wanted to be a lawyer or in the criminal justice system somewhere, some shape or form. That's what I wanted. All right. Second, it says which roles do you uniquely do, but you could still be replaced with some effort. And it says employee, Bible study leader. So I put down business owner because you can be replaced in business for sure. Bible study. I put Bible study blogger. I used to be in a nonprofit member. I can be replaced in my position in one of the nonprofit organizations I am associated with. I can be replaced. I used to be a Sunday school teacher. I did, and I loved it. I used to teach the 7 to 11-year-olds, and but I like to stick to truth. So I have to give you my testimony. I'll say that for another video. All right. And then the outer circle part says Um, in which roles? Oh, here we go. Sorry, outer circle. In which roles are you easily replaceable? And then it says examples: committee member, class participant. And I am in school too, you guys, right now, so I can be replaced as a class participant, and that's okay. But that's about it. Like that's the only thing I can see that I do outer circle wise that I can replace, or just being an advisor to people. I can easily be replaced. My ideals and thoughts can easily be stolen and taken as somebody else because um, I have a lot of private conversations and nobody just links because I guess I don't voice it myself or something like that. Nobody can link certain things to it being my thought, my wisdom that God has given me and the knowledge that He has allowed me to have. So um, that that happens often. Let's see here. Also, it says, "What's one thing you can do this week to prioritize the people in your innermost circle?" And I put, set specific times and dates for activities and people that can easily replace me. So now, what I'm going to decide to do is like instead of, you know, kind of being at everybody's beck and call when they need me, I'm going to do a certain thing and then step away from it and enjoy the people in my inner circle, which I'm pretty much an inner circle type person, um, but not necessarily. I've noticed that. So, anyways, day 3, and I think I'm supposed to have a guest on day 3. Let me see something else because I haven't sent out anything except for the first one. No, I'm gonna have a guest on day 4. So tomorrow is practicing yes and practicing no, which I think is a problem that a lot of us have. We don't know how to say no when necessary. And I'm excited to see how that's going to go. So day 4, which I have to get with that person, um, it will be a guest. And then day 6, we will have another guest, which I am excited about. So hopefully you checked out yesterday's morning coffee. We had a guest, and it was a man, and we had his opinion on um, relationships. Yesterday we talked about prioritizing people. So you guys need to watch because once we're done with this, then it's just free for all early morning. I'm going to take you how I start my morning, and we are just going to talk candidly about love, relationships, and how to better ourselves because that is what really needs to happen. We need to better ourselves. Now, with that being said, yesterday morning, we had mentioned that there was going to be a decision made yesterday evening in regards to keeping a rebel mascot and Dixie song. With that being said, the vote was 5-3, and they decided to keep the rebel mascot and Dixie song. I don't know if anybody really has lived in the South. For me, it was a complete culture shock. I'm not saying that the North or California or the West didn't have racism because when I was 10, we moved into a neighborhood and I was pushed off a bike and told that these niggers, you nigger, you need to leave. You don't belong here. And I still have the scar on my knee from being pushed off the bike and told that my nigger self didn't need to be in that neighborhood. There is a problem. And I call it this illusion that people have compiled in their mind that there is no such thing as racism. Although when certain legislation and stuff was created, we were not considered to be human enough for that to include us. Do you know what it feels like to have to fight to let somebody know that we matter? Or not even that we matter, that we are actually human? Does anybody know what that feels like? I always say it doesn't bother you until it hits you, right? It doesn't necessarily affect you, right? So what does it matter? But do you know what it feels like to have to tell somebody, hey, I'm human. I'm human. I'm human, and you shouldn't even have had the right to define that I was human. Do you know what it feels like to find out that they would lather people up in oil and put them on a chopping block and auction them off? Do you know what that feels like? I just want to know. I want to know how it is heritage, proud heritage to have oppressed people, right? Doesn't it go to relationships? I told somebody the other day, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I might do a real live. If you are Christian and you believe that oppression of another people is okay, then you're not a believer. Facts. You have the veneer of being a believer, but you are not that. You do not have the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh in your heart. You don't have it. You don't. Because you lack empathy, you lack compassion, you lack everything that the Holy Spirit says that He gives you. You don't have it. You don't know Him. Because there is no way that me as a believer, even though I know a race of people have oppressed me, I can treat them bad based on that. Because I am a believer. I take into account what Christ has said I'm supposed to live, like that life. So no, I don't think slave owners back in the day were really believers. I think they used that Bible against people to justify their evil, with the hopes that we could never read, that we would never get education, and that we could never comprehend that what was going on to us was wrong. So yesterday, it was decided in 2020 that it was still sufficient and still right and still heritage to keep a song and a flag that represented we didn't really want you here in the first place. In a high school, next to a cotton field. How contradictory. How hypocritical. How convenient. When were we going to wake up? We say we want change. We say we want something different. But yet we allow these systems to run us ragged, to hate each other, to war against each other no matter what race. Because at the same time, we're all in the same income level. We're all having the same type of struggles, just a different way. While they go ahead and play puppet master up there and just watch us look like fools. To keep an institution that was created to oppose a people that they didn't even consider human. Wake up. And if you say you're Christian and you are okay with that system, shame on you. I am embarrassed. And God is upset. And you need to take responsibility as a believer and understand that you need to read the Bible that you say you believe in and see what the consequences of your actions are for going along with the okie doke. And this is not one of those I'm trying to get on to everybody. This statement is truly to believe it, because I've seen so many I believe in God people really enjoy this hate, feed off of it, promote it, and that is not okay. So that is my take on the 5-3 vote, the bullying that happened yesterday, to let people know that you don't matter. Not in our system, at least. What you need and what you want and how you feel does not matter, because we really didn't consider you to be human in the first place. How does that, when you really sit back and think about it, they didn't even consider us to be human in the first place? Let's start there. How do I have to fight for you to consider me to be human? I could have sworn that I have the same heart as you, the same bodily functions as you, but I'm not human enough for you. I can work all day and all night and not eat unless you allow me to. Think about this. I'm saying it out loud because I want people to get it. How? And then you will tell us every day after that, I've given you a little bit of freedom. Isn't that enough? Would you have given it to us if we wouldn't have got tired and fought for it? Would you have given it to us? Because yesterday was just a reminder that you only give us enough so we can be quiet, so that we can be content. What's going to happen when the next generation says, I'm not okay with that? That isn't enough. What's going to happen when the next generation says, we're going to come together and we're going to stand against people who put legislation in to make us think that one status or being one color is better than the other? When are we going to do that? So that is my morning coffee this morning. No, it's not the best motivational way to start your day, but you have to have a realization that not everything always is peaches and cream for everybody else. It's not okay. Do you know what it feels like to look and see that people's inventions were stolen from them? One, because they couldn't read, and two, because they couldn't apply for a patent? Come on, you guys. We've got to do better. We've got to do better as a people, as a whole people, no matter what race you're in. 5-3. So the rebel mascot stays, and so there's this Dixie song, and we just have to be okay with it, right? While the history of the Black people and the Black high school has been utterly erased. How does that feel? How would that feel for us to just take, and I think about it, I think I'm going to be done. We people have been asking for certain things to be taken down, and other races have felt that we're taking their heritage. Ours got taken, and we had to deal with it, right? So what's the right thing to do? Drop that in the comments. Somebody, what would be the right thing to do? But do not use Christianity to screw your head. It's not okay, and it's embarrassing. So I have good news on that. That's how I ended that, because I'm done talking about it. Because anybody that's come to my house, they hear about it all the time, and I'm done. On a lighter note, I am having a tricks and treats for your hair. It is going to be at the Chamber of Commerce. The time starts at 6. It will end at 8:30. You will get a free consultation. We will discuss everything about your hair, whether you have relaxed hair or if you're trying to transition to natural and you want to know the things that I suggest that you use or that I use in my clients' hair. It's going to be a fun class. We have a lot of things coming. Within that class, we'll have live demonstrations. And if you have any questions at the end, I will actually show you how to do certain things. Whatever you need, whatever you want to know. 15 slots are available. And yes, we will be doing social distancing within there. And temperature checks will happen just because of the recent situations and the numbers going up. Other than that, I wish everybody a happy day and a day to reflect. Take today to reflect on what just happened yesterday so that we can get a solution to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Is that understood? Does that make sense? Are we all on the same page? And I really hope, I'll drop the link in the thing, that you guys join me for my tricks and treats. And also, like, this is what I will be teaching on is not just for Black women, it's for all women. And it's something new too, because you need to know about your hair. So just know that everybody is invited, okay? Um, I heard somebody in the comments. Somebody said, "Morning, pretty, thank you." And I was gonna oil my hair, and then I got on this, thing about injustice. But just know I love you guys. Just take today to reflect and how what you do matters and how you can help change these type of situations in your community, in your area. Okay? It takes a village. You have the heart to do it. We all have the knowledge. If we don't have it, we can research it. We just have to have the desire to want something different. And we want it. We have to have the desire to want something different and take responsibility to do it ourselves rather than trying to vote somebody else in to make sure they do it for us. We can do it. Let's do it. All right, you guys. Happy, happy, happy Tuesday. Love you.